Yep. Good afternoon. About to finish eating. I was sitting back thinking, I'm going, like I say, man, I've been going through some of my paperwork way back. And what people probably didn't realize how long I had been down here in this area here. But since 2009. But before then, I remember when I graduated from school, high school, from Southeast Raleigh. I remember Sheriff Knight. He probably don't even remember what he told me or what he asked me. He asked me, was I scared? He probably don't remember asking me. I said no, but I had started doing my criminal justice at Wake Tech. They pulled me out the classroom after Hurricane Katrina hit Raleigh, 2005. You had a group come from, well, actually you had a lot of Bloods that came from New Orleans and Texas that was running around downtown Raleigh. And when I first met them, I just saw a bunch of individuals that standing over there they were by Shaw University. And they were standing in the middle of the road, and I really thought they were trying to rob me. But I put the car in neutral, and then I ended up putting it in drive, and I tried to ride right through, and I went back around the block, and I came back, and I asked them what in the world was going on. And the dude told me they had just got dropped off in downtown Raleigh. They didn't have no clothes, no IDs, no nothing. That's when all the Greyhound buses were bringing all them in from New Orleans and Texas. I had started putting some of those individuals. I had bought 4 or 5 hotel rooms the first night. Holiday Inn downtown, that little other hotel on the corner. There was one off Capitol Boulevard. And then I bought another hotel room off of New Bern Avenue. So I knew where I had certain people, where I placed them, and they had my phone number. That's why everybody had Nextels. But during that time, I remember they came and talked to me in the classroom at Wake Tech, and they just told me, well, that was my first assignment. Assignment for what? I hadn't even finished my course. I was really just trying to do the college transfer program at the same time too, to go to NC State so I could, get a 4-year degree. But during that time, when they picked me out of the classroom and they told me that was my assignment, I just stuck with the group, I socialized with them. I knew where everybody was. They know how to get in contact with me on my phone. But when they start having that other stuff they were bringing in to Wake County, because some of them boys, when they started buying those buildings to start working on cars, they were going back to Texas and coming back with, at that time, they were bringing that they had a bunch of crystal meth that was coming into the Wake County area. But when they actually raided that shop, they found all that stuff they had in there then. I was done with Wake County as far as that part concerned. But it was another situation that took place where they tried to come and cause some harm to my mom. They tried to cause some harm to my mom. They tried to go. One of my cousins gave them my address, and some of the dudes from my school, they used to run with those boys from Kenwood called what they used to call themselves Dead Prez or something. Well, anyway, they told them that I wasn't like that back in school. I wasn't street. No, I was in school. I dated the same girl from the time of the 7th grade all the way till I was 21. But a lot of my cousins, my cousins came down from New York. They were 9 trades. They were 9 trades. So some of our family members, distant family members, we really don't talk like that no more because of another situation. But when I got put on with the group, they knew I had bigger plans. I was focusing on trying to build a career. My air conditioning heat, I've been doing air conditioning since I was 13 and working on their cars. They wanted lift kits. I was extending the spindles, putting the cups on, doing the sound system, installing TV. So I made my money off of the money they were making in the streets. But when they started getting arrested and busted, I distanced myself from them. A lot of them. 2009, I came back towards this area because I didn't even want to be bothered with nobody no more. And during that time, I called myself trying to build a stronger relationship with my family. But I realized a lot of they do some of the most corrupt stuff down here in the Edgecombe and Nash County side. And it's like your informants, they were making just as much money as the boys they were supposed to be trying to lock up. And your police officers were protecting them too. But that was never, look, we were taught A 3-strike rule. 3-strike rule is what we were taught. First, you get them to sell you an illegal substance, controlled substance. That's strike one. Anything over 3 grams will be considered a felony. Anything over 7 grams will be considered a lethal dosage, especially if they did it more in a day. Strike 2. Then strike 3 was if it was over 50 grams or more in a controlled buy, or if they fronted you something to that equivalent, and then if they put a threat behind it, if you didn't pay up, meaning that if they were going to come back and cause you harm, that means they had some type of weapon with the controlled substance attached to it. Oh, that's strike 3. They out of there, boy. Shoot, they out of there. Simple. Look, man. Some people make it harder than what it is. Life, especially like I say, man. I can't say law enforcement was probably my first choice, but criminal justice was the first thing they offered me at Wake Tech with my college transfer program. But I've been doing air conditioning heat since I was 13, so that's how I run my business, man. I stay out the way. Nothing. I don't do nothing illegal. Never had to. Never. Now I used to go out there and party. Now I used to have a good time. Now with some of the best of them, doctors, lawyers, and like I say, with the team, the people that I used, that group, the striker team, you had police officers, state troopers, because we knew what every state trooper was every 50-mile radius. Because we used to ride a motorcycle. We could get on a bike and go from Johnson County, 4042, all the way to Wilmington. We make it in 50 minutes. Because the state troopers used to let us have the highway. When we crossed over 95 and done Benson, we knew we could ride. Because we knew every state trooper in a 50-mile radius. We used to make it in New York in 5.5 hours. We had Marines that rode with us in the group. Couple undercovers, federal agents. Man, that striker team there, like I say, 2009, 2010, I got out the way, man. I came back down here and tried to build a relationship with my family. And then like I say, trying to get to know my father at his, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Sometimes fathers just look at their children as children and they never see them truly as an adult. And sometimes I just have to look at it and see, like I say, even when this house right here, this was the house me and my fiance had. When she passed away 2015, in the other room, it was a hard time for me to come back into the house and just get comfortable. But over a period of time, it's kind of like when you get in certain other relationships and females don't want you at their house and you have to return back to the home that you once had. It's like, what do? You have to learn how to embrace and adapt with change and just roll with it. But I don't know. I just want a little vent for this afternoon. Get me something to eat, get ready to wind down, man. I encourage y'all. Get into your word, feed your spirit, feed your natural. I hope that y'all have a blessed, happy, joyous weekend.